Alright then, it's time. It is time to do some Premier League predictions. It is currently Friday. The first game kicks off later tonight. And so let's get on with this shit. Alright, here we go. 20th, I've got Burnley. Yes, I've got Burnley rock bottom because Scott Parker, yeah, I like that he's going more defensive. He's worked out that this attacking systems and shit when you come up doesn't work, but I don't like any of their signings. I don't like any of them. Ugo Chukwu is okay, I guess. Kyle Walker, he brings experience, but all he ever had was that he's quick, and he lost that 2 years ago, so that's terrible. And then Armando Broja, I mean, I'm a Chelsea fan. I can't even remember the last time that guy scored. I don't think that guy scored a goal all of last season. I don't think he scored the season before that either. He's terrible. He's terrible. And if you're playing defensively and trying to jump forward and get goals, then Broja's not the man you need to be doing that. I mean, Liam Delap got, what, 11 last year? And they still went down. If Broja gets 11, there's no way. It's not happening. I've got Leeds in 19th. I just don't think their squad's very good. Daniel Farker is a relegation magnet. They've got a lot of big guys, like a lot of tall people. They're looking to go very physical, but I just don't see where the goals come from. I don't know if Pirot, I think it's Pirot, is how you say it. I just can't see him scoring that many in the Prem. And then where else do the goals bloody come from? Yeah, so down 19th for Leeds. I've got Brentford in 18th because they've got rid of everyone that made them good. So they've got rid of absolutely everyone. Thomas Frank has left. He's gone to Spurs. You've got Mbuemo's gone to Man United. Johan Wissa is going to Newcastle or Saudi Arabia, one of those two. You've got the captain Norgard has dipped as well. They've replaced some of those players with Jordan Henderson, who was finished 2 years ago. They've replaced Mark Flecken, who was a bit of a botch magnet, to be fair. They've replaced him with Kelleher, which is good. He's a good goalkeeper, but, I mean, so was Ramsdale, and he was at Southampton. So I think Kelleher's just going to be picking the ball out of his net a lot, and then he'll probably get another move next summer. But the big one is they've replaced Thomas Frank, the manager that took them from basically oblivion to the Premier League, with Keith Andrews. Who is that? Who is that? Well, not even the Brentford fans know, really. He's their set-piece coach, who is now their manager. He's never managed a team, and he's now being chucked into the Premier League when half of his squad has left. So 18th for Brentford, for me. And then that means, of course, that 17th is Sunderland. Sunderland are a team that I think we all like seeing in the Premier League. I mean, the same with Leeds, but we like seeing Sunderland in the Premier League. It's a good thing to have them there. You get the time where derby, and I think they will stay up. They've made great signings, in my opinion. Habib Diarra from Strasbourg, Granit Xhaka is a great signing, even though he might be a little bit starting to slow down, you know. But it's a very young team, so you need a bit of that experience in there. They've made signings of Adingra. He looked good at Brighton, just couldn't get in the team because they have about 9 wingers. And Talby, he looks pretty decent. Still time to make more signings. They made Enzo Lefebvre a permanent. Yeah, I think they do scrape 17th, just about. I think Brentford will sack Keith Andrews, but it'll be too late. So, yes. So 16th, I've got West Ham. They've lost Mohamed Kudus. And Graham Potter is a shit manager. He's just terrible. He's really, really bad. That's why I've got them there. That's all. And then I've got Wolves in 15th, despite losing Cunha and Aït-Nouri, because they've got a good manager. They've got a good manager in, I believe his name is Vitor Pereira. Did really well with them last season. They have lost Cunha, but Cunha was banned for most of for that 5-game win streak. He was banned for most of that. So that doesn't really matter. I think Cunha is one of those where it's sort of a big fish in a little pond, sort of like a Jack Grealish at Villa, where I think he's going to go to United and be pretty average. But Vitor Pereira is a good manager. I like John Arias. He looked good at the Club World Cup. Decent signing there. They've made a couple more that are leaving my head. But yeah, 15th for Wolves. Then we've got Forrest in 14th, despite them coming 7th last season. And the reason that team's a power of friendship, right? That's all that team is. Chris Wood is never ever scoring 20 goals this season. It's not happening. There's no way. I'll be surprised if he gets 10. That was a miracle fucking season from Chris Wood. A power of friendship team. They lost Anthony Elanga, which he was quite important for the way they played, very transitional. They have made some decent signings. I like James McCarthy. I like The other one, Amari Hutchinson, they've just made that signing. I believe it was them that made that. I only saw it like half an hour ago today. But I like that signing as well. But I just think they'll take a while to gel. And it was such a power of friendship team that was carrying them. And they've got Europa League football, which is going to kill them in the league, I think, if they even make it through the league phase of the Europa League. But yeah, 14th for them. Then we've got Fulham in 13th, who have done literally nothing. They've sold no one and they've bought no one. So 13th, I guess, they're an okay team. It's just everyone around them seems to be either improving or getting worse. So Fulham's just sort of seem to have stagnated there. 12th, we got Palace, because Palace always come 12th or 11th or 10th. That's it. And I've gone for 12th this year because they have got that European football. It is only the Conference League, which is unbelievably easy to win. I mean, Chelsea's B team basically won it. So I think they don't really have to worry about putting their starters out a lot of the time. But they are looking like they're going to lose Gehi and Eze. Eze to Spurs, Gehi to Liverpool. So I think it might, yeah, they need to replace them well. But yeah, 12th I think is a decent idea. And I do think they win that Conference League with Glasner. He's a very good cup manager. I've got United, Manchester United, that is in 11th. Because I just don't rate their signings that much. I just don't. Don't get me wrong, if they get Carlos Baleba in, that's a good signing, and I rate him. Even though he will be he will be really struggling in that midfield, like all the other Man United wingers. And midfielders even, fucking hell. But I just don't rate the rest of them. They haven't replaced Onana. The defence is still terrible. Acuna, as I said, I think won't be very good. And Buemo, I can see working out. He looks like he will be good. But then Benjamin Sesko, he scored, what, 13 goals in the Bundesliga last year? 13! He scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga. That's not... Timo Werner was scoring more goals in the Bundesliga than that. That's not a promising sign. And then 80 million on him as well. Like, I just don't think they're going to be very good. I don't rate Amorim at all. He's got no plan B. Like at all. If his girlfriend gets pregnant, they're having a baby. There's no plan B there. It's game over. Yeah. So 11th for United. I've gone 10th for Everton. David Moyes is very good. They've got that new stadium. They're they're going to be hyped for it. They're going to be hyped for the first few games. They're going to probably win at least a couple of those first home games. And I like their signings as well. I like Jack Grealish a lot. I really like Jack Grealish. I like Dewsbury Hall as a signing. He was never going to get in our team, but he did play well whenever he was called upon in the conference. I like Everton. I like it. We've got 9th is Bournemouth, which might be a bit high because they have no defenders anymore. They sold all of them. They got rid of all of them. Kirkes is gone. Kepa came back on loan and is now at Arsenal. Dean Howson went to Madrid, and now Zabani's gone to PSG. But they haven't replaced them with anyone, really. Like, who's come in for them? Yeah, it's a worrying defensively. They've also sold Dango Ouattara today to someone else. I can't remember. Again, I just saw it earlier. That might have even been Forrest. I don't know. They sold Dango Ouattara. I know it's Palace, I think. He's gone. Fuck off. Again, I saw it like 10 minutes ago on Fabrizio's Twitter, so fuck you. But yeah, 9th for Bournemouth, which is probably still too high. I've got Spurs in 8th, because of Thomas Frank being not a complete moron like Ange Postecoglou was. That they've got a good squad. They've got a good first team. Let's not fuck around here. That first team's very good. There's no depth, which is the issue for me. Like, you saw it against PSG in that Super Cup final. They were all over them until they started making subs, and then it all went to shit because they had to bring on Matisse Tell, who's shit, Lucas Bergvall, who's shit, and Archie Gray, who's okay, I guess, but that's not, they had no one good enough to bring on to keep doing what they were doing. So I think they need some more depth in there. They're looking at Eze, which I think would be a great signing, obviously, for them, and I think they will get him because Arsenal seem to have just called off on that for some reason. And they're looking at Savinho, which why are you looking at Savinho? He's worse than Brennan Johnson. He's the most lightweight prick you've ever seen, Savinho. He's terrible. I don't know why they bother with him, but yeah, they need a bit more depth. But if they could keep players and not get, they don't all get injured, I think 8th. I think 8th would be a good season for them, to be perfectly honest. I really do. They'll go nowhere in the Champions League, though, mind. We've got Brighton in 7th. I feel like it's possibly a bit high for Brighton. I don't know how I feel about this one, but I rate Fabian Hertzler. He seems a decent manager, and Brighton always do this thing where they sell all their best players and then replace them with some Colombian kid you've never heard of, and then they're better. So, I like Maxim de Kuyper coming in as a left-back. That is the only one that they've signed that I've ever heard of. Yeah, I like that signing. But 7th, because they've kept most of their team so far, and they'll probably just sign some random children and be better. 6th place, I've got Newcastle. Now, despite the fact that they've missed out on every single one bar 2 of their transfer targets this summer, the 2 that they did get are pretty decent signings. I like Anthony Elanga. They're very transitional, Newcastle. I like him for that system. And then they've gone for Jacob Ramsey as well from Aston Villa, which is another signing that I like. It all comes down to the striker, really. Newcastle could drop from 6th to 9th if they get a bad striker here. Nicholas Jackson, unreal though. He's very good in the transition. That's where he plays his best football. I think that would be a good signing for Newcastle, to be honest. But yeah, it depends on that. It depends on if ISAK stays, which I don't think he will. You can't keep a player that's that desperate to leave. It's just not going to go well, I don't think. So yeah, 6th for me. Could honestly finish 10th. They're in the Champions League. They've got not that much depth, but there's still 2 weeks left of the window for them to shore some stuff up. I think they do get 6th. 5th place, I've gone for Villa. They should have got 5th last year. They got robbed out of it. We all know the story. And they've they've ended up keeping Emi Martinez by the looks of things, unless he obviously goes in these last 2 weeks, which I don't know why you'd sell him now, because you don't really have that much time to replace him. So it looks like they'll keep Martinez. Evan Gesand, I believe his first name is Evan. He looks an okay player. I don't know how much I rate him. They look like they're going to keep Ollie Watkins, which could be a blessing, not really a blessing in disguise, because he misses about 10 chances a game before he scores, but there you go. They are going to keep Morgan Rogers by the looks of things. The defence seems pretty shored up, and Unai Emery's a very good manager, so I'm going for 5th for them. Do I think they win? Are they in the Europa League? Yeah, they will be. Do I think they win the Europa League? I think they go far in the Europa League. I don't know if they win it. And the 4th place, the top 4 is very interchangeable. I think there's going to be at least like a 7-point gap between 5th and 4th this season. But I've gone for City. I don't know how I feel about putting City 4th. I don't know when the last time they came 4th was, but it was probably while I was still in primary school, something like that. But I've put them 4th because I don't know how I feel about the squad. The good signings, don't get me wrong, Cherky's a good signing, so is Tijani Reinders. They look like they're going to get Rodrigo if Savinho goes, but I don't rate Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo's just another Savinho. He looks fucking lightweight. I don't rate him at all, especially for what Real Madrid want for him. And they also look like they're going to get Donnarumma to replace Edison. And Donnarumma has got this tag of being the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment, and I don't think he deserves it because his save percentage is pretty bad. His general play is terrible. Like he's really bad a lot of the time. Like you'll remember in the Champions League, in the league phase of the Champions League, he was dropping clangers every game. You remember that Saka free kick that he just put literally directly in the middle of the goal, and Donnarumma just missed it. Like Donnarumma has had he played well in the second leg against Villa. He played very well in the 2 games against Arsenal. And that was it. That is it. That is all he has done. He has had 3 very good games. And now he's apparently the best goalkeeper in the world. He doesn't play out with his feet very well. So I don't know why Pep would even want him. I don't rate that. And they've also not really sold anyone that they looked like they were going to sell. They sort of had a bomb squad. You heard this, like, Kovacic, Gundogan, fucking all the Stones and Ake and all of these players that they were going to sell at the start of the window, and they're all still there. The only one that's left is Grealish, and that's a loan to Everton, so fourth for them. I've put Arsenal 3rd, because I hate Arsenal. And also, because I just don't think they're going to play well with a striker. They don't know how to play well with a player like Gyökeres. Havertz is nothing like him, and neither is Gabby Jesus. And I think eventually Gyökeres is going to fit in, and I don't think he'll flop, don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to have a slow start to the season, and I think that might kill them off quite early. And then also, look, they've got no depth again. one injury to Saka or Rice, and it's game over. Because then you're starting Madueke on the right wing, and you're starting Sambi Lokonga in the midfield, I guess? I don't know. Like, Thomas Partey's off raping women, so you can't play him. I think he's left anyway. But still, you got like, yeah. One bad injury, and I think they're fucked. I've put Chelsea in second. It's probably just because I'm, riding off the momentum of the Club World Cup and all of that jazz. But listen, I think we've got a good team. Palmer's getting back into his groove. Esteval looks a very good player. João Pedro. I could have a wank over João Pedro after the last 10 years of strikers with us. Other than Diego Costa, that's the one good striker we've had in about 10 years. Like, I've been watching Werner and Morata and Nicholas Jackson and Fat Higuain and fucking finished Aubameyang. Like, João Pedro actually looks like someone that can finish a ball. Wish you could finish on my balls. Anyway. Liam Delap looks good as well. I'm a bit worried about the defence. So Enzo Maresca, he's come out a couple of times and said he wants a new defender, like centre-back with the Colwell injury. Fofana's going to get injured again, which means we're starting with Tosin and Chalobah. And now I like Chalobah and Tosin. I just don't think they're quite good enough to be winning a league or anything. Yeah, we've got just so much depth as well. There's a lot of depth. I genuinely think we have a better chance of winning the Champions League than winning the league this season because we're so much better in the cups. We're a much better cup team. I think we'll fall off in the league again in around December. Just for fucking fatigue, mate. Even though we've got so many players, I just think fatigue is going to start killing us. And we'll come second. And so that, of course, means that first place goes to Liverpool. Yeah, just all of their signings are good signings. They're just all good signings. If I'd have recorded this last week, I probably wouldn't have put them first because I would have said, well, I'm a bit worried about their centre-backs, Van Dijk and Konate, but then after that, who else? Well, now they're signing Leone, or whatever his name is, the Italian 18-year-old guy, and they're signing Mark Gehi, so that's that sorted. Frimpong and Kirkes are both good signings. Florian Wirtz does have a lot of pressure on him, but I think he will come good eventually. Salah is still very good. Ekitike looks okay. I don't really know how I feel about him. But then, of course, if they sign Alexander Isak, Ekitike will barely play anyway. And Isak will score about 70 goals with Salah putting them on a plate for him. And then, who's actually on the left wing for Liverpool now? I don't know. They saw Diaz. I don't even know who plays left wing for Liverpool. It doesn't fucking matter. You've got Salah doing it all on the right wing. So yeah, they're going to win the league, I think. And yeah, there's my Premier League predictions. I think if Isak goes to Liverpool, he'll win the Golden Boot. If not, then I think it'll be Haaland. Salah won't score as many goals this season like he did last season. Most assists, I think, will be Palmer, because he actually has some attackers that can finish now in front of him instead of Madueke and Jackson, who were fucking up all his chances. Golden Glove, I guess let's go Georgi Petrovic of Bournemouth. Why not? Why have I gone with him when my reason for putting them so low was they have no defence? I don't know. I just like Petrovic. Yeah, there we go. Fuck you very much. See you in a year when these are all wrong.